The left is absolutely panicking about the midterms, and they have good reason to be, because the Trump administration has made massive gains in election integrity. They've made massive gains in the redistricting. And now that Iran is over, they're making massive gains back in the affordability issue, and the economy is ramping up. So they're terrified. And the reason you know they're terrified, you always can look at the judges, because the judges are always the sign that they need something to stop. They got to stop it. So we got this ruling that just came out. Judge Sparkle Suknanen, can you guys guess? That sounds like a right-winger, right? Sparkle Suknanen has struck down Trump administration's expanded Save voter verification system, ruling federal agencies unlawfully create a centralized database containing Social Security and citizenship data to facilitate mass voter verification. How is it unlawful to validate citizenship with Social Security records? You tell me how that could possibly be unlawful. This is such a crazy activist ruling. But again, they do the crazy stuff when they're desperate. This will be overturned by the Supreme Court or by an appeals court, guaranteed. But regardless, it's a sign. We're very scared about what Trump's pulling off with the election. We have to try to undercut every opportunity. So, speaking of the judges, this is how desperate they've been. Look at this. Number of times the judges blocked a president's policies broken down by president. In the entire United States history, guys, there was about 60-something blocks. Here's the years, 44 years, 64 blocks of presidential with presidential injunctions against executive orders. Here's Trump's record. 75 against him in his first term, 169 in the second term. When people ask me, why is Trump not getting everything done? There's two places to blame: the Senate and the judiciary. They are blocking him at every turn. Thankfully, the Supreme Court overturns most of these. And so the Trump administration moves through. And the Trump administration knows that, which is why they haven't gone rogue on these judges. Because Trump knows if you do it through the legal system, it's much more likely to be accepted by the people, and it's much more likely to last. It's very smart, and he should not turn against these judges in a rogue fashion unless or until the Supreme Court also turns against him, which isn't going to happen. But isn't this wild? But again, this is their panic, and it shows you how effective Trump actually is. Another one happened. The judge scrapped SNAP junk food rules, dealing a blow to MAHA. So now this judge says, no, have junk food on your SNAP benefits. We want people to die. We want people addicted to their food. Oh yeah, and we want to get kickbacks from the food companies that we're subsidizing through the SNAP benefits, like Coca-Cola or Doritos. That is actually happening, believe it or not. But this, my friends, is panic. They're trying to make first of all, this is for Democratic voters, low-income Democratic voters, the vast majority of them, who will be excited over this because they don't care about their health, the vast majority of them. They just want their junk food. So they'll be excited about this. This is all about the election. And it's going to backfire on them, though. And the reason why is the MAHA movement is more popular than ever before. Listen to this.
There's a Fox News poll saying what's important for you, for the government to focus on. And food safety is at the top of the list with 89%. Lowering food costs comes in right after that. More access to healthy foods, fewer harmful additives, better label clarity, less vaping and nicotine use, and then less screen time for our children.
Look at that. 89% food safety. Food costs 88%. That's not MAHA. But healthy foods, 85%. Harmful additives. See, this is all blowing up in their faces. Why? Because the people are awakening. The people are awakening. And I've contended this, the MAHA movement, RFK Jr., what he's accomplishing is massive. And even though we might not see every little thing we want done in this 4 years, because some of it might just be too difficult to do in 4 years, the long-term effects of 4 years of a movement a push of educating people and showing them the truth, that, my friends, shifts culture like we're seeing right here, wakes people up and starts a trend that lasts much longer than 4 years, which assures that eventually we get all the things we want. Remember, it's not about everything all at once, because that's impossible. We live in a legal system with checks and balances. You can't get everything done all at once. And I get so frustrated at people who don't understand that. What you have to do is start it. You get it started, you wake people up, they like the trend, they carry the trend. Politics is always downstream of culture. Very important. The MAHA movement, more popular than ever. You think these people want to go back? You think these people want to vote Democrat thinking that MAHA will continue if the Democrats are in charge? No. Some of them are dumb enough to think that. But enough people, even if they don't like Trump, they love MAHA. These are outstanding positives.
Children, but it's the safety issue that's number one.
So then you go to the food policy regulations, and this is the question about clear food labels. 91% favor that, only 8% oppose that. I don't know who those people are. Banning food additives.
They don't want to know.
Right, they just let them eat.
Yeah.
87% favor that, and only 13% oppose that.
I mean, they're even cleaning up M&Ms.
Yes.
I mean, my goodness. So the MAHA movement works.
There are a lot of companies that are doing that too, Brian.
And take a look at all these companies that are embracing the MAHA movement. You see Campbell's, Coca-Cola, Conagra.
Quick, you see this? The companies falling in line before the regulations are even pushed. Why do they do that? They do it because it's demanded by the consumers. They're doing this for money. But that tells you the culture is changing, which means we're going to get the long-lasting change. This is a big deal heading into the midterms, believe it or not. People are going to be very pleased with this, especially moms, especially suburban moms. Now, that's a quick reminder of RFK Jr. For all those who think RFK Jr. is on his way out, I'm telling you, this man cares so much about what he's doing. Here's what his wife says about how hard he's working.
Bobby works so much that I have not seen him in a year and a half. He gets up at 6:20 every day. And he hits the ground running. He does not stop. He comes home and he works. And he eats a steak and fermented vegetables. And then he goes back to work. Bobby.
This man's amazing. He's not quitting. He's not going anywhere. They gave up everything. Cheryl Hines, his wife, gave up her entire Hollywood career to do this. RFK Jr., she's banned by Hollywood now. RFK Jr. gave up his whole status with the elites, the deep state, to do this. These are true believers. They're not going back. They're going to keep it going. Again, this is in our favor because RFK is very popular. Now, the election stuff, the fraud. The Trump administration is now threatening to withhold funds to states that resist the election security reforms. Hey, this is what I love about the Trump administration. They will always find the way to get it done. Oh, you won't pass anything? Fine. We'll do it ourselves. We will force you into submission because money, you guys want federal funding? Guess who controls it? Okay, don't play ball. We cut your funding. They can't stand it. It drives them crazy. And many fall in line. Some will fight back. And there'll probably be some judge that rules this is not allowable until the Supreme Court comes back in. But you see, the Trump administration is not slowing down. They're working every angle. And I'm telling you guys, I feel like the midterms we're going to be able to feel secure about. I don't think it's going to be 100% not fraudulent. But with our numbers, and 2024 prove this, with our numbers, that if you knock the fraud down to even 50%, which we're still waiting on the Supreme Court ruling on mail-in ballots, which will be huge. If you cut the fraud even by 50%, we have a very strong shot of winning strongly, even gaining. This is the kind of stuff that terrifies them. And the Trump administration is not stopping. Again, tell me again how Trump's not doing anything. It's the craziest thoughts. And now we're passing stuff that's very popular. The Senate just passed legislation to block Wall Street firms from buying American homes. This just passed. Remember Trump signed the executive order earlier in the year? Well, now it's law because this number, no matter what else is in the bill, which I don't know what's in the bill, might not be great, or maybe it's mostly great with a couple of bad things in it. Regardless, this is, he cannot veto this. This is law. This will be law now, unless the House blocks it. But I don't think that's going to happen. So Wall Street firms will no longer be able to buy single family homes within whatever the legal jurisprudence is and all this. But that's a huge win. And that happens on Trump's watch. He can tout that for the midterms. Now, the big reason I think the midterms are going to go much stronger for Republicans and MAGA than people are predicting is because of the economy. And listen to what's starting to happen with the economy.
I actually listen when you talk, and I have heard you say you believe the economy is poised to take off. So when will the astronauts buckle in and the rocket launch? And what needs to happen for that to happen?
Well, first of all, we've had 5.5 years now of Donald Trump in the White House, and then about 4.5 of those years, we've had very, very strong growth, big income growth for middle-income Americans. So we've had a strong economy. Two things that have happened that have kind of derailed the Trump economy. Of course, the first was COVID back in when was that, 2020, and then of course we've had this Iran situation. So what I'm trying to say to you is that if this deal sticks that Donald Trump has forged with the Iranians, and I know you've had some problems with it, but if the Iranians stick to the deal and we get that oil flowing again in the Persian Gulf area, then I believe we will see a very strong economy with incomes going up, inflation going down, gas prices could be headed to back below $3.50 a gallon, maybe $3 a gallon. So all we need to do is get the strait open because we've got a record high stock market. We've got incredible investment going on in this country. By God, you've got a $2 trillion company now in SpaceX. You got 2 more big IPOs coming. We're dominating the AI. So what's not to like about this picture? We just got to get that oil price.
And it started. It's already going down. Most of America, I just passed my gas station the other day. It's down to $3.35 from a high of $4.25 last month. So down 90 cents in my area. And I know it's everywhere else it's going down too. It's going down fast thanks to what Trump pulled off in Iran. Guess what? That's going to impact inflation and everything else. But despite, even before the oil prices went down, I should say, the numbers just came in for May for manufacturing. Oh, look at this. Trump was right again. Everything they're doing, U.S. manufacturing hits 49-month high as input costs show signs of cooling. What? You mean Trump was right? Manufacturing's coming back to America? Why is this a 49-month high? Well, the last time it was this high was coming right out of COVID, which was an artificial boost. This is massive. It's all happening. And this time, guys, it's not a freak accident because we're just opening up our states' economies. No, this time it's because of policy, and it's going to be a trend. Look at these numbers. These are excellent numbers. Manufacturing PMI, 55.7, expected 54.6, a full point above expectations. Massive. U.S. services were up as well. Not as much, but still beating expectations. This is huge. It's coming, guys, because when manufacturing gears up, it's not long before jobs and wages fire up as well. And prices, we're getting the price change as well. Housing, 55% of U.S. homes selling below their original asking price. People are starting to be able to get into homes easier again. That's interesting. Maybe it's because all the illegals are going bye-bye. I don't know. You tell me. But with oil going down, manufacturing going up, home prices going down, it's all heading towards that economy we wanted. Here's another big one. Fertilizer, way down. 37% plunge in the last month. Whoa. What's that mean? Food prices about to go down, folks. Between oil going down and fertilizer, food's about to get a lot cheaper. A lot cheaper. I wouldn't be surprised if across the board we see an almost 10% drop by the end of the year. 5 to 10%. That's massive. Trending in the right direction. It could go even faster, especially once beef starts going down, which is going to take a little longer because they're getting the herds going. It takes about 2 years for beef to go down. So maybe by the end of 27, mid 27, beef will be a lot cheaper. But regardless, we're seeing all things head in the right direction. And a lot of this is happening before the midterms, especially oil. One of the reasons housing's going down, well, rents are going down too, because the open borders disaster. Lots more homes available thanks to illegals being gone. Thank you, Donald Trump. So many wins, guys. Now, the win's going to continue long-term as well. Check this out. Trump just reportedly backing a $17.5 billion nuclear push aimed at speeding construction of 10 new reactors across the U.S. Nuclear power, baby. Hey, we already lead the world in oil production. Why not lead it in nuclear as well? Are you guys ready for much, much cheaper energy prices, electric bills? Because this is what this will lead to. Substantially lower. You could talk 50 to 60% lower if this keeps spreading. This is all happening, and he's got 2.5 years to get all this running. Massive, massive wins everywhere. And you can tell we're winning because the other side is starting to have some issues. Foreign-funded bots and influencers are down bad. Why? Shock poll reveals Trump's approval rating is surging as voters deliver a surprise verdict on Iran and the economy. Ha! What? I thought we were told the opposite is true. All these podcasters, Podcastistan, the Fagaland, the America First crowd, the Democrats, the media, the Rhino neocons, all of them have told us things are awful. Trump's trashing us. He's ruining the economy. He screwed up Iran. Well, that's not what the people think. We're not believing the narratives anymore, guys. We've woken up. Too much truth is out there. It's too easy to believe or to cut through the narratives now. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So as of right now, Seth Keshel, who is the best on election stuff, this guy nailed 2024, and he's just a genius. His latest is 203 safe Republicans versus 187 safe Democrat, 45 seats up for grabs. The GOP only needs to get 1/3 of them to hold the majority. Do you think we can hold 1/3? I think we can, especially with the shifts we're seeing economically. So as of right now, I think we 90 to 95% hold the Senate, and I think 60% to 65% hold the House, and I'm feeling better about it every day. As more and more information comes out, as Trump approval starts going back up, oil prices keep going down, as the Iran deal turns out to be legitimate versus what everybody's saying, people are going to get happier and happier. And the midterms should be a lock once that all comes into place. And then we have a very rosy future looking ahead. Here's the latest on Trump. Remember Vance and Rubio. We got two great picks for 2028. You can choose your side on that one, pick who you like more. Regardless, whoever becomes the nominee, you're voting for, and you know it. Because if you don't, the other side could win. Both of these guys win a landslide. And Trump continues to tell us how pleased he is with both of them, setting them up for a very bright future.
Will be doing the Middle East this week.
I think that they're doing a fantastic job. Our secretary is fantastic. I think he's maybe going to go down as the best ever. And I thought J.D. Vance this morning was fantastic. I watched his news conference, and from Switzerland, he's a very smart guy. He did a great job. You know, when I look at the Democrats, I call them the Democrats. They're dumb, the Democrats. When I watched that, where one of them thought it was World War XI. He said World War XI. She meant World War II. You know about that, right? This is one of their potential leaders, Ilhan Omar, who married her brother to get into the country, by the way, illegally. But when I...
Will be doing the Middle East this week.
Does Trump seem worried about the future? I don't think so. Guys, I'm telling you, regardless of what happens with the House, okay, and we all have to be honest, there is a chance we lose it just because people are fickle. And there's a lot of people, even on our side, who think Trump hasn't done enough yet, which is insane to me, but people are entitled to their opinions, whether they're completely wrong or not. And so we always have to entertain the fact that we could slightly lose the House. I'm still not worried. It'll make the next 2 years a little more difficult, But regardless, 2028 with a new presidential candidate, a Marco Rubio or a JD Vance who's going to appeal to the electorate, with Democrats in power in the House, it'll just remind everybody how sucky they are. So they'll lose probably even bigger if they win the House. But if we win the House and we destroy the Democrats' hopes, because they're hinging everything on this year, they think this is their one chance. They are desperate. If they lose the House and Trump gets a more MAGA group in starting in January, both in the House and the Senate, and gets more stuff passed, and the Save America Act shores up elections, 2 more years of building up the economy, 2028 is going to be a massive landslide. I'm calling it right now. That's how confident I am about it. I'm really not worried, because our bench is massive and it's awesome, and they suck. They have nobody, and Trump knows it. And as usual, he knows a lot more than I do. So I trust the man, not just his words, but his body language tells me a lot. So guys, it's all trending in the right direction. We're winning. And as always, as long as we keep our foot on the gas, we can't lose.